Hello dear students, welcome to the course of Engineering Thermodynamics. Myself Mihir Mistry, Assistant Professor from Mechanical Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to continue our session on refrigeration cycles. And in particular, we are going to discuss about reverse Carnot cycle. So as you can see on the diagram, we have two diagrams, that is block diagram and the TS diagram. Okay. Now remember students, if you are reversing the direction of Carnot engine, then that will work as a heat pump or refrigerator, or it will be known as reversible or reverse Carnot cycle. Okay. Now in the reverse Carnot cycle, what will happen? It will be used to extract heat from low temperature and transfer it to high temperature with some net work inflow. Okay. Or with some net work input. Okay, so now here let us understand the cycle very quickly. Here you can see we will start from point number 1. So from 1 to 2 the process will be simple. Reversible adiabatic compression process. So reversible adiabatic is also known as isentropic process. So you can observe in the TS diagram 1 to 2 is isentropic, that is why it is drawn by a straight vertical line. Okay, now from 2 to 3 is known as condenser, okay, wherein the heat will be rejected towards the atmosphere. Okay, so here you can see that 2 to 3 is constant temperature heat rejection that is taking place and highlighted by 2 to 3 process in the TS diagram. Right. Further, what will happen? 3 to 4 is expansion process or reversible adiabatic expansion process. So in this reversible adiabatic expansion process, you can observe that it is isentropic, that is why it is drawn as vertical line 3 to 4. And further 4 to 1, that is evaporator, wherein some amount of heat will be absorbed from the outside atmosphere and it will be converted into the vapor. Okay, so that is process 4 to 1, right? That is constant temperature heat addition process or evaporation process. Okay, and back to 1 to 2, that is again compression. So this is how the Carnot or reverse Carnot cycle will work. It is exact reverse of the Carnot engine. Okay, so that is how the reverse Carnot cycle will work. Okay, now let us understand and evaluate the performance of it. Here you can observe that Q2 and Q1 are the heat transfers that are taking place over here. So Q2 is nothing but heat added to the system from the outside atmosphere at constant temperature, and Q1 is the heat rejected from the system to the atmosphere at constant temperature. So you know that heat transfer can be written as Q is equal to T into delta S. That means temperature will be constant and entropy difference. Q is equal to T delta S. Right? So here you can observe that Q1 is occurring or transferring at constant temperature T1. Let us say T1 is the high temperature and T2 is the low temperature. So Q1 heat transfer is taking place at constant temperature T1. So now I can write Q1 as T1 into entropy difference. So corresponding to that heat transfer, what are the endpoints? So the entropy difference will be S2 minus S3. Simple. Now same way Q2, that is heat added. Now this heat added is at constant temperature of T2. So now what we'll have? So simple, Q2 is equal to T2 into now the entropy difference of that particular device. So what are the endpoints? Endpoints on the evaporator are 1 and 4. So S1 minus S4. Simple students. So the net work done can be written with the help of energy in is equal to energy out concept. Right? You remember that block diagram wherein we have low temperature reservoir, at the center we have heat pump or refrigerator, at the top we have high temperature reservoir. Heat is getting extracted from low temperature reservoir by the heat pump or refrigerator. It is transferred to the high temperature reservoir with some work input. Right? So according to that diagram, you can write down the work done W net as Q1 minus Q2, that is equivalent to T1 minus T2 into S1 minus S4. Okay, how can we write that? Because you can appreciate over here that entropy S2 and S1 will be same and entropy S3 and S4 will be same. right? So now COP of refrigerator. What we can write? So COP of refrigerator. Now this is a Carnot cycle, so it will be a reversible cycle. So that is why REV subscript is written, that the meaning is reversible. So all the processes are reversible. So that means what? That means you can take the heat transfer ratio is equal to temperature transfer ratio. That I have already told you. COP of refrigerator will be equal to what? Simple. Desired effect divided by work done. So here the desired effect will be what? So the low temperature heat transfer will be the desired effect. So Q2 will be the desired effect. Divided by net work, that is W net. So corresponding to that, I can write down in terms of temperature as T2 divided by T1 minus T2. Simple, students. Okay. Now same way, COP of the heat pump, reversible heat pump better say, will be what? Desired effect upon work done. So desired effect here will be what? Simple. High temperature heat transfer, that will be the desired effect. So here Q1 divided by W net. Right? So corresponding to that, if you will write down in the temperature form, that will be T1 divided by T1 minus T2. Simple, students. How this heat transfer is converted into temperature, that has already been discussed. That if reversible processes are given, then you can write down the heat transfer in terms of temperature transfers. Okay, so that is how this reverse Carnot cycle will work. Right? Now further, let us discuss about Bell-Coleman cycle. This cycle is known as gas refrigeration cycle, and the typical application of this cycle is in aircrafts. Okay, so keep that thing in mind. Also, it is named as reverse Brayton cycle. Okay, students. So Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Brayton cycle we are discussing. So as you can see on the diagram, we have two diagrams. One is block diagram or flow diagram, other is TS diagram. Now, before starting, let me advise you one thing, that here the fluid which we are using is not refrigerant, it is pure gas. Okay, one more thing is that if you are using the gas, then for real gases, if you are expanding the real gases through the throttling device, then the temperature fall will be very less. Okay, so that is why instead of using the throttling device, you will use the expander over here. Okay, now in case of ideal gas, what will happen? Let us understand. Please listen to me carefully. Simple. In case of ideal gas, you know that the enthalpy is dependent on the temperature, right? So H is equal to Cp into T. So if you are using the ideal gas in the throttling device, so what will happen? You know that the throttling device is isenthalpic process. That means enthalpy will remain constant. So if you will expand the ideal gas through that throttling device, so its temperature will also remain same, and that is not acceptable. So that is the reason that in gas refrigeration cycle, throttling device is replaced by an expander. So this can be asked in interview. It is very much important question. Okay, so keep that thing in mind. One more important thing is that here no phase change occurs. Okay, students, we do not have liquid refrigerant and vapor refrigerant like that. Here only gas is present. So that is why instead of using the evaporator and condenser word, what we are using? We are using the refrigerator and cooler word respectively. Okay, so in place of condenser, we will use the cooler word, and in place of evaporator, we will use the refrigerator word, because phase change is not occurring. Clear? Let us start the understanding. We'll start from compressor inlet 1 to 2, that is reversible adiabatic compression. Assume that ideal gas is the fluid. So reversible adiabatic compression 1 to 2, you know that it is isentropic. Reversible adiabatic means, that is why 1 to 2 line on the TS diagram is drawn straight vertical, right? Further 2 to 3, right? That is what 2 to 3 is cooling down process, that is taking place as constant pressure. So constant pressure heat rejection process. So cooling down will occur for the gas, right? So that is 2 to 3 constant pressure heat rejection. You can observe the TS diagram. It is denoted by a constant pressure line, or it is denoted on the constant pressure line. 2 to 3 process. Then 3 to 4, that will give us some work output, that is known as expander work. And this expander work will be used to supply to the compressor. Okay, so that much low compressor work we will have to supply externally. So that is advantageous over here. So this expansion is again reversible adiabatic or isentropic, right? You can observe that isentropic, that is why it is drawn by a straight vertical line 3 to 4, right? Next, from 4 to 1, that is refrigerator. So refrigerator will do what? It will consume the heat from the outside atmosphere, right? And it will cool down the ambient. Okay, so here the gas will cool down the ambient. So the gas will cool down the ambient at constant pressure, that can be highlighted at constant pressure P1. Okay, so the refrigerator effect is taking place at constant pressure P1. So that is from 4 to 1. And again, from one point you will have the compressor. Now let us evaluate the performance of the Bell-Coleman cycle. So COP, that is coefficient of performance, can be written as you know that desired effect divided by work done. So here our desired effect is to cool down something. That is why Q2 divided by W net. Q2 is the amount of heat absorbed from the atmosphere, refrigerating atmosphere. Okay. Now here you know that it is ideal gas. So that is why you can write down Q2 is equal to H1 minus H4, because the refrigerator section is in between 1 and 4 endpoints. So H1 minus H4. And W net. So W net is equal to what? Simple, expander work and compression work. So both works are given. So you can take difference of these two work. Okay. So obviously here the compression work will be higher and expander work will be lower. So compression work we will take as first. So compressor is in between 1 and 2 points. So that is H2 minus H1. Minus expander, that is between 3 and 4 points. So you can write H3 minus H1. Right? Further, you know that for ideal gas, enthalpy H is equal to Cp into T. Right? So I can write down directly the enthalpy H in form of temperature. Remember students, it is ideal gas. So that is why you can write like that. Okay. So T2 minus, so T1 minus T4 divided by T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4, right? So here in the denominator, what we will do? We will take T1 as the common from the first term and T4 as the common from the second term. Now you know that for reversible adiabatic and compression and expansion process, the PVT correlation we know, right? So according to that PVT correlation, one can write T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Now you know that, so T2 by T1, that is during the compression, and T3 by T4, that is during the expansion. So I can write that is equivalent to T3 by T4. So ultimately these two ratios of temperature, T2 by T1 and T3 by T4 will be same, right? So now here observe the above equation that is written above for isentropic compression and expansion line. Above that in the denominator we have T2 by T1 term and T3 by T4 term. So those both terms are same according to the PVT correlation. So what we can do is we can take that bracket in the denominator as common. So we can write the equation of COP, revised equation of COP as T1 minus T4 divided by T1 minus T4 into bracket T3 by T4 minus 1. So here from the numerator and denominator you can neglect the T1 minus T4. So what we are left with? Simple, take LCM. So we will have T4 divided by T3 minus T4 as the COP. Okay. Now further, you can write down the T3 by T4. Okay. Remember students, this is our COP. You can also write down this COP in terms of pressure ratio. Okay. Let us do that. So for that, observe that here I can write T3 by T4 as P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, right? And you know that P2 and P1 is what? P2 is corresponding to the cooler pressure, that is high pressure, and P1 is corresponding to the refrigerator pressure, that is low pressure. So that is pressure ratio, right? So I can write RP. So COP of the refrigerator will be equal to 1 upon RP raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1. Now remember and recall students the Brayton cycle efficiency equation. That was 1 minus 1 upon RP raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Right? So the same way here also the COP is given like that. Okay, so this is reverse Brayton cycle and it is applicable in aircrafts. Okay, so we will keep up to this point. Thank you.